Hello guys, a lot of persons have been reaching out to me telling me that they don't understand leverage and how to utilize it to make more money in futures trading. So in this video, I'm going to be showing you a step-by-step guide on how to utilize leverage to make more money in futures trading, and also telling you everything you need to know about leverage. So to get started, I'm going to be using my Binance app, but it's not applicable to Binance alone. Whatever platform you are using for your trading, it is the same thing. So all you just need to do is to watch this video from the beginning to the end carefully so that you will be able to understand every aspect of this video. So once you're in your Binance app, the next thing you need to do is to come down to this place where we have features. Here you can see this down place where we have features. So all you just need to do, come to these features and then click on it. So once you click on it, it's actually going to take you to the futures trading interface. But before we continue, it's very important you know a few things about this leverage. So one of those things I want you to know about leverage is that leverage will make you to have more capital to enter a trade. Number two is that leverage can make you more money in futures trading. Yes, leverage can make you a lot of money when it comes to futures trading. And then number three is that leverage can also make you to lose a lot of money when it comes to futures trading. So these are the three important things I want you to have in mind before we commence properly on how to use this leverage to make a lot of money in futures trading. So once you're on your futures trading interface here, first thing you will notice is the pair that you actually want to long or short. And then the next thing is where you have 20x here, close to where you have isolated. So this 20x you are seeing here, that is where we can get our leverage. Now if I go to that place and click on it, you can actually see that I can adjust these things and set up my leverage. And for the pair of coin that I'm using here, you can see that I can set this leverage up to 50x. And of course, I'm going to be showing you that different coins have different leverage you can utilize to make money on them. They don't have equal leverage. The leverage depends absolutely on the coin that you are actually trading on. So once you have been able to know this, the next thing is very important. You know that when it comes to futures trading, you can actually long or you can actually short. I'm going to explain that. So longing simply means that I'm speculating that the price of this coin here, this current price of this coin now, will go up and not coming down. So that is what we mean by longing. Longing simply means that you are speculating that the price will go up from the current price right now. That is what you mean by longing a trade in futures trading. Why shorting a trade? If I come to this place, you can see short. So shorting a trade simply means that I'm speculating that the price of this coin now, this current price of the coin, will go down, meaning that this coin will go down instead of rising up in price. So that is what it means by shorting. So I'm speculating that the price will go down and not going up. And that is why futures trading is very, very good, because you make money in both ways. Even when the coin is dropping, you make money. When the coin is also going up, you make money, unlike spot trading. So once we have been able to understand this concept, the next question is, what is actually leverage? So leverage in its simplest terms means that you are borrowing more capital to enter a trade. So if I want to enter this trade now, which is this mask USDT perpetua, if I want to short or long this trade now, and what I'm having is just $10 to enter this trade, I can come and use 20x leverage or less than 20x leverage, depending on what I actually want. So what that means is that your initial capital, which is my $10 I want to enter this particular trade with, will be multiplied by this 20x leverage, and that will actually give me $200, which means that I'm entering the trade with $200 and not that my $10. So the capital I will be entering the trade with is $200. So that is why I told you that leverage will make you to have more capital to enter a trade. Now you can see from the $10 I have, which I want to enter the trade with, it has increased to 200 because I'm using 20x leverage. Another instance is that if I have $10, I want to enter this trade, and I come to this place and change it to 10x leverage. That means that my $10 will be multiplied by 10, and it will give me a total of what, $100, which will be my capital for entering that particular trade. So that is what leverage is all about. It's all about you borrowing more capital to enter a particular trade. Now, if you look at this pair here, this is mask USDT perpetual. Now, if I go to where I have leverage here, which is 20x, and click on it, you can see that this particular pair, I can only use maximum of 50x leverage. Now, if I go back again and go to where I have this pair and touch it and change the pair, probably let's go for, okay, let me use Litecoin here. So if I use Litecoin, go to the leverage section again and click on the leverage, of course you can see that with Litecoin, the maximum leverage I can use is 75, while the former one we check was actually 50x leverage. Now, if I go back again and go back to this place, and let's use BTC, and once I select BTC here and then go back to the leverage, of course you can see that the maximum leverage I can use on BTC pair is 125x. So this is why I explained to you earlier that the particular pair of coin you are trading will determine the maximum leverage that you can actually use to long or short that particular trade. Now, having understand all these concepts, now the next question is, how do I use this leverage to make more money in futures trading? So in order to utilize this leverage to make money in futures trading, let's assume I want to long this trade and I'm entering this market with $10. So what this simply means is that my $10 capital will multiply with this 20x leverage you are seeing here. So it's going to be multiplied with 20x leverage, and that will give me $200 capital that I'm entering this trade with. So how do I make money with this? So the simple explanation and meaning of this is that if this BTC now, which I'm actually longing, just move upwards and just make 1%, that means that I will be making 20% of my capital. Remember, it's not going to be 20% of the capital I borrowed. No, it's going to be 20% of what I entered the market. That is my initial capital, which is the $10. So that is possible because I'm using 20x leverage. But let's assume that I'm using 10x leverage, and then I'm using 10x leverage and BTC does make 1% upward movement. That 1% upward movement that BTC made, I'll be making 10% of my capital because I'm using 10x leverage. That is what it simply means. But the bad thing about it is that it can also make you lose a lot of money, just as I explained earlier on. So how can this make you to lose a lot of money? Remember, I told you that if this Bitcoin just make 1% upward movement, you are going to be making 20% or 10% of the leverage that you are actually using. Now, if the trade also goes against you, let's assume that instead of this BTC, as you have speculated, and it now turn going downwards, if it make just 1% downwards movement, if you just make 1% downward movement, you are also going to be losing 20% of your capital if you are using 20x leverage to long or to short the trade. And if you are using 10x leverage to long or short the trade, that means that you are going to be losing 10% of your initial capital. So that is how it can also make you lose a lot of money. So the next thing now is, what do you need to do and how do you utilize this leverage to make more money instead of losing more money? So I have few advice and recommendation that I can give you that will help you to remain afloat and keep making money with these futures leverage. Number one is that you should not use a very high leverage. Yes, using a very high leverage puts you at risk of being liquidated as soon as possible. Remember, I told you the higher the leverage, the more money you make, and also the more money you lose. For instance, if you want to make more money and you went and used a higher leverage such as 50x, you are using 50x leverage, and the trade turns against you, that means that if the coin just make 1% downward movement, then you are going to be losing 50% of your capital. Do you see now that you are losing more money? So that is why even as you want to make more money, it's better you try as much as possible to manage your risk by using a very minimal or low leverage, so that even if the trade turns against you, you will not get liquidated as soon as possible. And to that effect, I will always recommend you use within 10x to 20x leverage. Personally, I don't go beyond 20x. So that is the number one thing you must know and you must follow if you want to make more money on futures trading using leverage. Number two is that you must set your take profit and stop loss. It is very, very important that you set your take profit and stop loss, because it will help you to take profit when you make money and also stop loss when the trade goes against you. For instance, if you have predicted that the price of the coin will go up and you are using a stop loss and eventually it starts moving down, you can only lose a small amount of money. Once you get to where you have set your stop loss, the trade will automatically close and probably you will just lose maybe $2 or $3 or thereabout, depending on the level where you set your stop loss. But if you did not set your stop loss and the trade just goes against you, and you know you can just make one movement, that movement will make like 5%, and once you make such movement, you will get liquidated immediately. So it's very important you utilize your stop loss and take profit. Take profit, on the other hand, helps you to maintain your profit level. For instance, if you have put your take profit and the coin makes you, let's say 10%, 20%, and you have set your take profit at 20% level, and once you get to 20% level, it will just close the trade, and then your profit and your capital will be returned back to your futures trading wallet. So this helps you to manage your risk, whether you are available or you are not available. If the trade goes against you, the market will close and return back your capital, and you just lose maybe just minimal amount of money. And if you're already making profit, you just take profit and close the trade. So that is why it's very important to utilize your take profit and stop loss once we are using leverage. And the last recommendation and advice I will give is that you should not be greedy. You should not be greedy in the sense that you have done your research, you have done your analysis, and you entered the trade, and within some time the trade start making you money, and you make, let's say 10%, you say okay, let me leave it to 20%, you make 20%, you say okay, let me just leave it to 30, it's going to get to 30, you get to 30, you say okay, let me leave it to get to 40% before I will take my profit. You know, that is just being greedy. Once you are leaving it to get to 40, anything can happen, and the trade can just turn automatically once and start dropping, and you start losing your profit which you have even made. And if you don't take time, it will get to your capital and take up your capital. So if what you are taking profit at is 10% or at 20% or at 15%, please maintain it. Once you get to that 10% or 15%, just take your profit and close the trade. Forget whether the coin is still going high or is not still going high. Just maintain your strategy, take your profit at that level, and always close the trade. If you can maintain not being greedy when trading futures, then you can make a lot of money utilizing the leverage in futures trading. So this is how you can actually utilize the leverage to make more money, and every single thing you need to know about leverage in futures trading. Thank you once again for watching, and remember, if you have not subscribed to my channel, please, it will not take you anything. Just go ahead and click on that subscribe button now, turn on the bell notification icon, so whenever I release an awesome video such as this, you will always be notified. Thanks and bye for now.